those butts.
This didn't get loose.
That's my commentary. That's what nose hairs. That's my commentary. Butts and nose hairs. Butts and beards and nose hairs. And the hair. Oh. Good.
I'm gonna pop this side open and see how it is.
But it jumps in at the same point every time. It jumps at the same point, which makes it like there's a specific spot.
Maybe it's over tight. That's probably what it is. It looks like there's more threads on that. How much do you market?
Because the way that works, right, is that's going to have a, the way that this comes on, this is a plate that mounts to this. Yeah. And so that plate gets sandwiched. And then if it's too tight,
yeah. Basically this rubber is on the metal cup right here.
Is it this pile in there? You know, loosen it in case
I just don't want it to loosen it.
I loosen it off like an 8 turn. Like just a little tiny bit.
Oh,
nice.
Action shots. Alright.
It's too bad she's married. I missed my chance.
Yeah, you did.
I'm at Taco Time here in Boise. They have different hot sauces here. That's not hot sauce, that's a joke. Hotter sauce here, water, tomato paste, food starch, chilies. Let's just skip these guys and go right for the 5 alarm. Oh, it hurts when you don't have water, but it's okay. For a 5 alarm, it's not bad. It's not that spicy. My eyes might start watering in a minute if I have a lot of this. But I would say it's maybe medium to medium hot. That's all. Memories. Yes. He told us that he bought it just to, like, you know, dink around with. He wanted to just fix it up because he liked it. He goes, well, don't worry about it. You can have the Subaru. Just have it. I was like, what? And he goes, technically, I was just gonna give it to you anyway, because that's why I was fixing it up. Flying pie. Flying pie. The best things in life come in through the back. Oh man.
We don't get that in restaurants. That or Dr. Pepper, we don't get that in restaurants either.
Gotta drink the nitro first though.
Or too many toppings on your
I think that's why it's used more, or it's more popular maybe. I'm not...
that was a reasonable spicy, but I probably had double the amount of ranch.
Wait, I know your ranch or else I can't do those.
Okay. How good is the bun? Oh my god, I cringed. Okay.
Comes with ice cream. This is the first time ever. There's a full habanero on each slice. Oh yeah, dude. Oh baby. That's gold right there. This is the end of my life.
Oh, it's way
delicious.
hotter than this. Yeah. Way hotter than this.
How many
I was
have you had?
like, I ate one of them. I just ate one and I was literally sweating and I'm sitting there and I couldn't eat anymore.
Yeah.
It's fabulous. Good.
My mouth hurts. This was a mistake. Looks nice. It's another hot day here in Boise. It's about 35 degrees at the moment. Could get as high as 40, so that's somewhere around 104 if you're counting in American units. And this trim piece keeps coming out. All right, David, the mobile mechanic here, is gonna fix those axles finally on that Volvo. And I was watching Robert DIY's videos because he's got the best repair videos for the P80 chassis right there. First things first, got ourselves a Master Pro undercar professional quality brand tie rod end. Hopefully that works. The axle's making a terrible popping sound as you're turning left. So we've got ourselves another quality brand, O'Reilly. Import direct, OE replacement parts, lifetime warranty. This is a 29mm nut. I'm hoping my axle on that car has a 29mm nut as well. And if it doesn't, we're gonna see what our options are. This can't be trashed completely. I mean, the boot's torn and the grease inside's all dried up, but it wasn't terrible. The CV joint is where the real problem is. That boot's torn and it's clicking big time every time you drive around. Making a sharp turn, it goes click, 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 click. You know, 3 times per rotation of the wheel, right? So the method I had in here to get these guys to stay in alignment pretty simple. I just grabbed this end with the pliers because I can't really get a tool within this small space here and leverage everything. So that was a lot of fun, and it looks like it's putting a lot of strain on this brake line here. It's an old brake line, but it's still in one piece, so we got to get that sorted out, make sure it's not torn and won't fail on you. Of course, it's a safe system, so if you do lose pressure in one line, you'll have the rear brakes for a second at least to get to a stop. But we're going to make sure that everyth's buttoned up nice and new. It's not my intention to make a very long video on this whole thing, but basically it was very good to me, this whole axle, the way that it came out. Don't forget the two 12mm nuts that are going to be right there on that guy, which is the half shaft sort of bearing up there. It's located up in the top. You can see the cup there. And of course, keep the orientation of it correct. That's why I leave the top bolt inside, so I know which way is up. Make sure it's all clean. If that fails, you can have an axle failure. They can also probably put an extra strain on the transmission and have transmission failure. So let's avoid that. You know, it's keep cognizant of your noises that happen in and around the car. This is covered in oil as well because of other oil leaks around the engine. The way I pulled this axle out is I just sort of yanked on it, tap, tap, tap against the backside of the bearing, and it came right out, which is good. And of course, I do have a 29mm nut that came with my kit. This is a 36. It's a little bit of a difference, actually. Well, plus it's only 89 foot-pounds plus 60 degrees of torque, so it's not too much, but it should come with a washer. You know, I called Robert DIY, and he said that his did come with a washer when he got a kit with a 30mm nut, which replaced his 36. So as long as the axles are identical side by side, we'll be able to put that back in. And of course, that guy was 5.5 turns on, so we made sure to match that so we don't have any alignment problems. So all in all, this car's been really nice. The biggest hurdle I'm gonna have in the end is getting the control arm back in the bottom there. Oh, one more thing to point out. Make sure the clip, the locking clip on your axle, maybe this doesn't have one. I know the driver's side will. That's got to come out with your axle as well. You can see this is how I stay white in the front. I'm so sweaty. And in the back, I get nice and dark just because it's so much work where you're bending over into the car and you can't get any sun on your front. So you have to make an effort to actually sunbathe to get any sun on the front side of you. One more note before I go. I know this is a long rant. This wheel weighs probably half as much as any of the wheels on my BMW. It is so light, and that is a secret to the good fuel economy. Don't get fancy wheels, just stick with what you have from the factory. And the ride with that much sidewall, much better. The tire cost with that much sidewall and size, much better. Everything's better about these wheels, except that they don't look cool like the large ones do. I mean, it's all right, you know? Oh yeah, you like the bricks? Me too. Didn't bring jack stands, but that'll do. I'm not getting under the car for anything, so again with that. You guys have to see this. This is everything that's beautiful and tacky about car culture. Missing trim, self-application tint, the weird naked lady chrome thing, an old K&N sticker, giant side decals, mismatched rims, double wiper blades for more horsepower, faded light little things that create lights on your hood, hood pins, the license plate with more naked ladies, fancy headlights that aren't quite faded yet, the bumper falling off in one corner, still mixed matched rims, and more self-applicated tint. Oh, but don't forget the taillights and another frame for the naked ladies, one's missing a head. And of course, no Honda is complete without the giant potato fart can in the back. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this side in 25.5 minutes. And go.
5 hours later.
We just finished. Oh my goodness. That sucked.
I feel like I'm so ready to be done. I'm so done with being ready.
The circlip, which is around only on the driver's side, was giving us so many problems that I'm a little burned out. I've been in the heat a long time. I've had pizza for breakfast and pizza for dinner. Skipped lunch. Well, we had a lot of pizza. It's great.
Sushi would be good, but
sushi would be good, but maybe tomorrow. There's lots of things to do. So we tried hammering. Well, the axle went out okay. It came out great. So I was totally on track to make it in 30 minutes. And then going back in Going back in, it got stuck halfway, and I thought, okay, maybe it was a little jammed, so I pulled it out, I rotated it, put it back in, and it got stuck again. So I thought, no, it's maybe you just got to force it through that circlip, and I went and just kind of kept doing that, and then I got really jammed, and it wouldn't budge. We tried getting it in, we tried pulling it out, nothing would happen. I got special tools from AutoZone. They didn't fit. There's not a lot of room in and around to get that axle with like a pickle fork design or like a 4-wheel drive yoke puller sort of thing. And then the last resort was to get a front-wheel drive CV axle puller, which is kind of a pickle fork with a 90-degree where you can get your little slide hammer and it attaches here, and so it's all sideways. It's exactly what Volvo uses. Advanced Auto Parts is the online result you'll get when you look that up, but I found it at AutoZone. And I got a slide hammer from them, and it still didn't work. We even had Dustin. He's got bigger muscles than me. Couldn't get it. So I was reading more and more that people are having the same issues. Hyundai, Ford. It's just an aftermarket CV axle circlip problem. So what we could expect if we pull it out is maybe the clip would be a little bit warped. Worst case scenario, the splines would be damaged, but that's for the guys that actually got it out, because we meshed all of our splines in. Both sides of both wheels were turning, but it wasn't seated against the oil seal. I know this is very heavy, and I hope you can visualize it, but we eventually hammered it in using a 10-pound hammer with help, because you know when you're doing it by yourself it's a little harder. So I held it in and we tapped it in the rest of the way, that last 1/8 or 1/2 of an inch. So it was good, and it's all back together. So
Finally.
I hurt and enjoy the sunset. Thanks for watching.
I think at the beginning of that you didn't like specify new versus old. Like we got it out okay, and then we got this one, we got it in, and then we didn't get it out.
I'll annotate.